Hi, welcome to Beer Snobs. This is Jenny, and I am here with Lauren and Jason from the Brewers Tasting Room in St. Pete. Thank you very much for having us. Yes, that would be Jason. This would be Lauren, Jason, so we're not confused. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. All right. So, Lauren, tell us a little bit about Brewers Tasting Room, how it got started. Why is it so unique here? What's so cool about this brewery?
Brewers Tasting Room was started by Rick Wolf and a couple of his friends. They basically just wanted a place to launch amateur brewers into a professional setting, and also just for home brewers to get to brew and just do a bunch of collaboration brews and stuff like that. So what makes it special is that's all we do, are collaborations with other people, and we offer them as just a one-time thing in our bar. So our brew system here is one barrel, so we get 2 kegs out of it, and then it's gone. So it's a great way to just keep rotating, new and exciting beers through. Most of our beers are done in collaboration with either the pros, that's our wall of fame outside, and Cigar City, J-Dubs, Terrapin, Intuition, all those people, they come in and they brew with us. We put it up here, and then it also allows us to brew with people like Jason, who's a home brewer, who's looking to open Polaris Brewery. Thrive. Okay.
It's not official yet, so don't get all excited.
Yeah.
That's the name we're going with.
And so he's getting to brew a lot on a bit larger systems than a home brew system, and then
get the exposure.
Yeah. And so it gives them an opportunity to see how it is to brew here, and also see if the customers are liking that style of beer, because you could brew whatever beer you want, but if people aren't going to drink it, then what's the use? So
it's also like guerrilla marketing. Feel, see what people like, what you need to change, more so than just beer judges.
Right. So what's the your and I use the term loosely, favorite beer that needed to change? Tell me a little bit about one of the not so greats. 'Cause we talked about my experience with bacon burger beer. Yeah.
Well, the only beer I think we've ever had that's just been like terrible was this blonde ale when we first opened. It was absolutely horrible, so we wound up boiling hot dogs in it, like I suggested with your one beer, and that turned out okay. We have had beers that haven't sold as quickly as others. Some people will brew like really dark beers in the middle of summer, and it's hard to get people into those in Florida. I think we had a really fantastic beer with ghost peppers in it, but it was hard for people to drink more than 1 pint in a sitting, but I thought it was outstanding. So that's one that you kind of have to have that special market for. People are always doing crazy things. We've had a beer brewed with cinnamon toast crunch. We've had star fruit, peach. He's doing blueberries in this one that we're doing today. We've had aloe vera added to beer. Just like, people are really open to experimenting when they're here, because they know, it's a one-off batch, and there's no downside to doing it. You're not doing it on a 30-barrel system where you're going to have to toss it if it turns out disgusting.
Would you say that this is a good place for people who are unfamiliar with craft beer to come to start?
Sure. I would say that more so because we are a brewery, but we also operate as a bar. We have 20 taps that we keep on, from your favorite local, international, national brands that people are familiar with, the stuff to get them started on craft beer. And then we also have the experimental stuff that we brew in-house that could be there for the person chasing the next latest, greatest thing. We tend to brew really easy to drink styles too. Right now we have like a blonde ale on that's a very good transitional beer. But yeah, there's always something for someone that's just in craft beer, and it's not as overwhelming as walking into like a big brewery where they only have their 4 brands and you may not know what they are or what flavors you like out of
When people come here, like today, I'm lucky enough to see you and Jason brewing some beer. That's kind of a unique experience too, because usually when we go to a brewery tour, there's not a whole lot going on, because they're doing that obviously so the general public's not in the way.
Right.
So is that something that was planned out so that people could just come in and go, hey, that's what it's about?
Yeah, we definitely wanted the brew system to be in the bar area. We do plan on expanding in the future. It may not be in the same area, but we will probably always still have a system of this size where people can see. Yeah, we don't seek out trying to brew during open business hours. It's more around the brewer's schedule, but we definitely don't not want them to do that. It's really great when we are brewing during open hours when people can come in and just smell it and experience it. And I mean, you could sit right here at this bar while someone's brewing, and that wouldn't be a problem. So yeah, it's more of a hands-on experience, but of course, I understand why the bigger breweries don't do it because it can be slightly dangerous with chemicals and water and all that fun stuff. But so no one slip and fall while you're at BT.
Right, right. Yeah, be careful. All right, I'm here with Drew and Dave. And so, guys, tell me, what was it that initially drew you to craft beer?
Craft beer. Back in 2004, moved to Chapel Hill, North Carolina from DC. I grew up here, but lived in DC at the time. And for all the neat things that were going on in DC, craft beer really hadn't touched there quite yet. But then one day, packed a moving truck and showed up in Chapel Hill and was completely surrounded by local craft beer, beer from other parts of the country, craft beer from other parts of the world. North Carolina, as it turned out, was 10 years ahead of where DC was and probably 15 years from where Florida was at the time. And so it wasn't even just a matter of every now and then I go down to the grocery store and see a couple extra 6-packs of Sierra Nevada, but there were 6-packs of local beer from Big Boss and other breweries. I'd go out to restaurants and there's only local beer on draft, and what was all this local beer? And all of a sudden it went from being not even in the kiddie pool, but being thrown into the deep end of local craft beer, where I could go to the store and find stuff from California and go find like 4-packs of Narwhal. What's this Narwhal from Sierra Nevada? And it was just a completely immersive experience. And you know, you can't help but start trying out. Bars had Randalls, you know, where they were pumping beer through fresh hops, and oh my God! And from then on, you know, you got to support these local breweries. You got to go visit these local breweries, and you had to actually drink this great fucking beer, and it's a wonderful experience, and never turned back since.
Awesome. How about you, Dave?
I'm trying to think. So when I was in college, I was up in Ithaca, New York, and Ithaca Brewery was big at that point. And pretty much, this was about 12 or 13 years ago, so there was pretty much, Ithaca was the only game in town other than like, Ice House or something like that, craft beer. And so I started to drink a bunch of those, and I remember studying abroad my junior year, and I was living in Samoa in the middle of the South Pacific, and I remember like thinking about what I was going to do when I got back and all that kind of stuff, and I thought, I could make my own beer. Yes, I could make my own beer. So I started making my own beer then, and just getting acquainted with the ideas of, you can actually do this. This is something that you can make, and you can understand the logic behind it, the science behind it, and it's just fascinating stuff. And the more you make your, things, you get into how they did it, and you try things, and you actually get like a different perspective on it. So that's really what set me on.
Excellent. So how about favorite beer and why?
That is, really hard. I mean, IPAs, I don't know. I mean, it's more my style because it's, your favorite beer. I'm a seasonal drinker, and so it's is it hot outside? Is it cold outside? And so I can't even give you a favorite beer. Why? Because it's how fresh is it? Am I in a new town? Am I drinking something local that would be really exciting? Then that beer, because I've never had it, I've never been to this particular place before, is now my favorite beer. I want this beer in front of me more than I've ever wanted any beer before. And that's sort of the thing where you collect one, and it's not the beer I just bought, it's that beer in 3 years when I've allowed it to age, and the excitement of wanting to do. Or home brewing, when I make that batch of beer and I put all this work into it, that beer in a couple of weeks will be my favorite beer because I am so excited about what that beer is going to taste like. Maybe it's this beer sitting right here.
Right, it's like your favorite beer at the time.
I'm thirsty and I just want that beer. So it's the moment, it's more about almost the experience than the product itself, because so much of craft beer is excellent as it is. So you get to focus on those other elements.
Awesome. So why BTR? Why Brewers Tasting Room?
Geography and research.
Okay.
I live in North Tampa. Dave lives down in St. Pete. We're doing a beer trade. local beer. I'm going back to DC here soon. I'm gonna bring back some stuff. BTR is the middle ground. Plus, we're part of an online group who's talk about having a big bottle share where we all come together with our favorite beers and share them here. And so I'd never been here, so let's get together, have a couple of beers, trade a little beer, and then check out BTR before we have the big thing.
So the idea with the judging is that we're going to host miniature competitions per style category here. So for example, middle of summer we'll be doing pale ales, IPAs, and sours, the stuff that's refreshing and light. We'll do some hybrid ales like a Kolsch. And basically we're going to have 100 entries or so per month, and we'll have a Sunday. We'll judge them all objectively, and we'll select a few to win medals, and then those will move on to objective selection, or subjective selection that will let Rick and myself and Lauren pick the beer that we want to brew out of the top 6 or so from the competition.
So who are the judges going to be?
The judges we have a limited number of experienced BJCP judges over here. The people that judge best Florida beer, and you'll see them around like Tampa Bay Beer Week. And what we want to do is improve the quality of the judges and increase the number of judges so that the organizers aren't scrambling for people. It also helps to increase the knowledge base for the entire area by having them come in and judge, because we want to have each experienced judge paired up with a rookie and help them learn how to fill out score sheets and judge beer and learn what they're tasting. So we'll have all sorts of people, from professionals to BJCP judges to the novice who's just starting to taste craft beer but wants to know more. And it'll help promote Brewers Tasting Room as a brewery to come and brew your beer on this really cool little system. That's about it.
So what's this do?
This is a hydrometer. It tells me how much sugar is dissolved in the wort.
And it gets you your gravity, so if you've heard of like original gravity, final gravity.
That's how we know how much alcohol is.
You take it, there's like a formula between them, and it tells you the ABV at the end.
Temperature. Let's see. 1040 at 39C.
So see, kids, learn math.
And then use Siri to convert stuff for you.
There you go. I want to send a big thank you to Jason and Lauren for taking their time with us today, and also Dave and Drew. And we will see you next time on Beer Snobs. Thanks again for supporting Beer Snobs. Please check out our Kickstarter page to help us get some more equipment for less awkward silence.